Hi everyone, as you can see I'm holding a garment over here, and imagine if two people are holding this garment, one on one side and one on the other side over here, and they go to a court and both claim that the coat is theirs. How do we judge this specific case over here when two people are holding onto something? This is what Bava Metzia, this tractate in the Talmud, is grappling with, what the Rabbanim are grappling with in these cases, and many different laws could be derived within just regards to a garment over here, just using a coat, which I'm using the whole time. But friends, it's very, very interesting. We've been talking all about this for the last few days. Naturally, in the first stop in Daf Bet, in page number 2, we talked about we're bringing a talit to the court, to the Bet Din, one holding one side, one holding the other side. And someone claiming a partial claim, someone claiming a greater claim within regards to it. We've been grappling with all these situations. But now in today's page, it is getting more complex over here, more complex. Who does it belong to? Has someone got a greater merit to own something? What if someone's holding 75% of something, someone's holding the other 25%? How do we work it out? Who gets more? Naturally, in different cases, it's obvious. In other cases, it's not. So friends, we are going to go through a case together now. So get your brain thinking, and it's late at night, so nothing like grappling with a bit of Talmud over here, a bit of Gemara over here in page number 6. Okay, let's look at a case. Okay. It came in the Bet Din. There was a case that came. Both were holding a garment. So two people came to the court. One is holding one part of the garment. One is holding the other part of the garment. That is the case before us over here. And the court, they're both holding the garment at this point in time. The Bet Din, they will render and say, go divide the garment. So we're assuming that one has got 50% of it, and the other person is holding the other 50% of the garment. And they left the court, and when they came back, okay, so they've divided it, they've been told that they should divide this garment, and they come back to the courts later, where one person is holding it now all of a sudden. So before it was two people holding it, and the Bet Din ruled that they should divide it, probably, naturally, let's assume equally, and now they've come back after this process, and one person is holding the garment exclusively. So this one who was holding the garment said, in this specific case over here, he's got the garment itself. The other one admitted to me that I was justified in my claim. So that person who's holding the garment now is saying, look, that person was lying the whole time, and he's now admitted that, yeah, this is really yours, and take it. So obviously it's in his favor at the moment, everything else. But what's the other person going to say? The other one who was not holding the garment over here said, I rented half of the garment to him for money, and he did not relinquish my right to it. So he's coming with a different claim, a counter claim over here. So, well, friends, what do we believe? The first person, the person holding it, or the second person, the person that's not holding it, but coming with a different claim? So let's try and grapple this over here. Perhaps, says the Gemara over here, the Talmud over here, that this brighter, which we're building up this case over here, it's a case in which the two parties arrived in court clutching the same garment and took their oaths over here. Then they were ordered to divide the garment over here. So they've been ordered to divide it, let's say 50-50. This should have solved the situation, because now they split it half. Bob's your uncle, his son. But after they left to sell it, they returned to court, and this time only one was holding the garment. So they were meant to sell it at that point in time, 50-50. And now they've come back to the court, and one person is holding the garment. The one now in possession claimed that the other party admitted to his original claim and gave it to him over here. So there's that sort of admittance there. The one not in possession, the one that's not got the garment over here, claimed that instead of selling the garment, the two had reached an agreement in which he rented his half of the garment to the other. So how will we paskin over here at the moment in this specific case? What should we do at this stage in time? This is that. Let's see. So over here, let's analyze. Neither party seems obviously trustworthy from what's happened so far. The first person that is now clutching the garment and claiming over here that the other party conceded that it did not belong to him only to then drag him all over again to the court, so we can see there's rot. This requires us to believe that one party kept changing his mind about whether he owned the garment or not, which just does not seem likely over here. However, we can look at flip the other side of the coin, the other side, and why would someone choose to rent half the garment when he had the option to do what the court ordered and sell the garment and secure its worth? It doesn't make sense. So, disadvantage on him over here. Which party would you believe over here? So there's different cases. So the Gemara tenders a judgment over here. We say to the second specific party over here, until now you suspected him of being a thief, a robber over here, and now you've rented him this thing to him without witnesses. This doesn't make sense. You're all over the place over here. It looks very much incriminative on that specific side over here. How can you rent it to him without witnesses? So looking at a man who claims you rented his half of the garment to the other, the rabbis say, why would you rent your half without witnesses? You should have witnesses, Eidim here, concrete Eidim, to a person you previously claimed in court was a robber. It doesn't make sense. Because that behavior does not make sense over here. It's very out of pattern, let's just say, over here. And perhaps because the other is now in possession of the item, you are the one who must prove your ownership because of all these circumstances. That person that's not holding the garment and he's making this counterclaim, the onus is on him to prove whether he owns it or not. So that's very, very interesting over here. So naturally, one might say that someone will have to take an oath at this point in time. But, when you're dealing with these intrinsic cases over here, there's so many different things that can occur, so many different angles that one will have to look at, where you have to take in all the factors. Why is the person now renting it over here in this case? It just doesn't make any sense over here. So we grapple with it, we look at every angle, and that's how the Gemara, how complex the situations go to. We can spot potentially who might be lying, who is more truthful, and which objective flaws there are inside in every daf. So I'd like to dedicate this Lulu Nishmat to Yoram ben Miriam. And please watch over the previous videos. We're already in the 5th installment here in Masechet Bava Metzia. So we didn't establish whose garment it is, but I'm not holding it at the moment. But no, it really is mine. Take care. Have a great night.